I'm on a quest to design an automatic farm for everything in the game Minecraft, including max XP for players using my easy Enderman farm for just minutes. Hello there, right here. It's simple to build up, yet efficient from early to late game. We do this in the end dimension because this is the one biome that will only produce Endermen from hostile spawns. And when killed, they drop one of the most XPs out of any natural mob. We're not going to do this at the main and island because there's too many places for them to spawn in, so we're going to leave this area and go out into the void, where they will have to spawn inside of our farm, which is easily designed to collect them up and kill them for their loot. So we need to get far out from the main and island, but also be down low, as the game will place in mobs faster the lower you are. Easiest way to get down is just by putting in some lava, then once the lava has reached the bottom, put in some water beside it, and that way it'll touch it and convert the side of it into cobblestone. You could then remove the lava and then come all the way down to where the cobblestone meets the void. This is at the very bottom of the world. If you do F3 plus G, you can see where the world actually ends. And at the very bottom here, you can come in and place in some bottom slabs. We're going to use this to build a bridge out far enough away so the Enderman will only spawn inside of our farm. You can bridge out using any material that Enderman will not spawn on top of. Slabs are the cheapest, or if you happen to have iron and collected a lot of leaves. If you use full blocks, make sure to place lights down so Enderman don't spawn. And we're going to bridge out a total of 8 chunks or 128 blocks. Now we're plenty away from the main end island, so they can't spawn there. But make sure you also keep it 8 chunks away from other farms. Now we're ready to build the area where the player will stand and pick up the XPs. We're going to go out 2 blocks on the end in either direction. Then we're going to build in a 3 by 4 area of slabs, and we're going to fill this area in. And then we're going to put in another 2 over here. Now we're going to do this exact same thing to the opposite side over here. Now we're going to build a wall around the outside so the player doesn't accidentally fall off, and Enderman won't teleport to this. This can be either built out of moss or carpet. You can get carpet easily from Carpet Duper here, or if you already built my moss farm, you can get tons and tons of moss carpets. Once done, it'll look like this. Now on this path back to the main end island, we're going to go ahead and knock out this block and use a non-colliding block such as like a sign or a string. And then we're going to place a carpet on top of that. Then we're going to come over here and place in a layer of 2 carpets on top of this walkway going back 32 blocks. And then at the end here, we'll just place in a single one, and this will be the way the player gets into the farm. Alternatively, you can waterlog each of these slabs going out 32 blocks, whichever you find to be cheaper. Now we're going to build in a small pin which will hold in the Enderman. Temporary block there, and then we're going to put slabs that are bottom slabs, and we're going to go around this. So 4 on that side, 5 on this side, and then another 4 on this side, and finish off by putting 5 on that side. Then in the center here, we can place another slab on top of that, and our dripstone point on top of that. You can get your first dripstone point by coming here to a dripstone caves biome, or by trading a wandering trader. If you don't want to get a dripstone, you'll just have to have a block here. Then on either side, we're going to click on the top side of this to put in a slab there, as well as over here. And on the back side, we're going to come in and place in some walls. The point will do twice as much damage as a normal fall, and the extra room will let the Enderman spread out, and the walls will keep the Enderman close enough so the player can easily reach them when we come in to attack. The light will keep this area bright while also changing the size of that wall to make it thicker. Now on top of here, we're also going to place in 2 layers of carpets all the way around the outside of this ring here. Except for the last place here where we're going to place in some blocks. This is going to be the drop chute, which makes sure the Enderman falls directly into the killing chamber. I'm going to use glass so it's easy to watch them fall, but you can use whatever blocks you want to. Now we're going to take each of these up a total of 18 blocks, counting this one. So we can easily do this just by putting 17 blocks on our hotbar here, and then as we stack up, once we run out, we'll be exactly where we need to stop. Now we can do the same thing to the other 3 sides. And if you're not using the dripstone method, then you're going to have to add in another 21 more blocks upwards in order for the Enderman to be a one-hit kill using the sweeping effect of a low-level sword. Once on top, we're going to go ahead and use top slabs to fill in these corners here. Then we're going to come in and place in a trapdoor there, as well as shift click one on top, and we're going to open those up just like so. We're going to come in and place in walls around like this. Then we're going to get on top of these walls and place in a double layer of carpet all the way around. This way the Enderman will only be able to come in from the entrance here and won't be able to teleport on top of this. Now at this point, while we're up here, we're going to place in the Endermite. We'll place a temporary block there, then a wall here. Now we need to get up on top of this and build in a small area where we will spawn in the Endermite. So we're going to build in a 2 long area, and then we're going to come in and place in some walls so the Endermite cannot escape. I want to make sure the floor is made out of a block that we can place a rail on, and we'll place it just like so. Now we're ready to summon in the endermite. You do have to be in survival in order for the endermite to be the proper type. You can't use spawn eggs. Now to get the pearls for the endermite, all you have to do is come in and build in a small overhang for the player to hide underneath of, and then just stand underneath here and look at some endermen. This will make them mad and they'll come towards you. You can kill them just from standing here, or you can just place a boat beside them and then push them into it. It'll take about 2 stacks of ender pearls in order to get an endermite to spawn in. We're just going to use these to teleport. You can take less damage by using feather falling on your boots, as well as using protection armor. And also keep some good food with you that will regenerate you. Once you got a endermite, make sure you're not actually wearing any thorns armor, because that could end up actually killing it. Now you want to use your name tag on it. I use dinner bone so it's easy to see it's been name tagged, because even though we're going to try to pick it up with a minecart, they can still despawn inside minecarts if they're not name tagged, and the player is greater than 16 blocks. Now we'll place in a cart on the rail there, and when it slides over top near the endermite, I'll pick it right up. Now we need to make sure when we drop the endermite down, it goes directly in the center of this farm, which means it has to be over here. So let's go ahead and remove this, and then stand over here and push it over onto that side. Now we go ahead and remove these blocks. Endermite won't be able to move because it's inside of a minecart. And we'll remove all the blocks except for the one that's directly underneath of the endermite. So then now we can go ahead and remove this block, and it should drop onto the wall. This will keep the endermite up nice and high so the endermen cannot kill it, but also so they're able to see it and get mad at it. This is what's going to pull them into the center here. Alternatively, you can go ahead and summon in a endermite, and then leave the little pen, then name tag it from here, and then place in a boat, which will pick it up, and then just try to keep the endermite in the center over top of the wall, and then you can remove the last block, then get in the boat and move it so that the endermite is directly underneath of the wall when you exit the boat. This does make it a bit cheaper, as you don't need the iron for the minecart or the rail. Now we can go ahead and build in the spawning platform for the enderman. You can go ahead and open this trapdoor, so if any endermen spawn while building this, it will automatically die and be out of your way. Now we're going to build in the spawning platform by going out a total of 10 blocks in each of the cardinal directions. Once again, you can place the blocks in your inventory, and then once you use them up, you know you went out the correct distance. If you happen to have the Swift Sneak enchantment added to your leggings, it will make this type of bridging much faster. And then you can go ahead and do this to all 4 of the cardinal directions. Next, we're going to take the ends of these and we're going to bring them towards the corners here so they end up connecting up with each other. Then it will look like this. Now all we have to do is fill in the center so we have enough spawning area for the endermen to spawn in fast enough to keep the farm constantly supplied. Now it will look like this. But in order for the enderman to spawn in, the player has to be at least 24 blocks away. So let's go ahead and drop down to the AFK spot, which is all the way down here and inside of here. From this location, you're 24 blocks away from the spawning platform so they can spawn in. And they fall far enough so that they are a one-punch kill, so it doesn't matter which one you punch, they will die. Or you can use the sweeping ability that any sword offers. Just by aiming in the center and sweeping one time, you can kill all the endermen in the entire area, and all their XPs will come directly to you. And you don't even need to have any enchantments on your sword. You might notice that once in a while an enderman will just die seemingly for no reason. This is actually because the enderman came down here, took a little bit of damage, and teleported back up to the top. And then when it came down the second time, it just died. This happens once in a while, but doesn't actually affect the rates, but also allows you to make the farm extremely cheap and easy. There's actually enough room down here, so the enderman shouldn't take max cramming, with the enderman easily able to make 4 different groups of 25 so they don't ever collide with each other. I designed the farm so that they will spawn in the mobs very quickly. Now the limiting factor for this farm is actually how fast the game will let the player pull in the XP orbs. With this setup, you get the maximum amount of endermen that you need in order to get the maximum XPs per hour, which is 60,000 per hour. Making the farm any bigger won't help you get more XPs, but would let you get more pearls or XPs for a second player. You can get level 0 to 30 in just 80 seconds, plus all the pearls you'll ever need. Ender pearls will just fall down. If you want to, you can just leave them there and let them despawn, or you can walk around this edge here and collect them. There's also room if you want to build in your enchanting area just on the side of it. Just make sure to always place in the double carpets above anything else you build around this. From Beacon Farm to Ancient Debris Farm, see how I farmed it all in this playlist here. Thanks to each of my supporters who made this crazy quest possible by being a Twitch sub, Patreon, or Discord subscription for as low as $1 a month. Otherwise, you can help for free by leaving a like and subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye!